Hey, Brother Vanan. I actually had gotten your email. So you had a question about the Twilight sacrifice as well, and um, you stated you had aligned the blade, but you didn't know how deep to cut. I wouldn't get a just a straight razor-like blade because you're gonna have to push pretty hard and cut pretty deep. Now this is an ancestral knife here. Now I've made this with actually shark teeth, and it's very sharp. See, you can still see a bit of my blood on there, but it doesn't have to be too deep. Don't cut too deeply. So, as you can see, me get that in the light there. When you open the palms before casting open the violet gateway and receiving the Salazarian crown, see this, and let me show you my other hand. There it is. Alright, it doesn't actually have to be too deep, just enough to draw blood. And you ask, why couldn't you just use an actual lancet? Well, it's because of the chants and whispers involved that you discovered in the Eye of the Oracle. I'm going to explain this a bit more thoroughly. When you create this blade, you're sacrificing pieces of your mortal self. You're essentially letting the void subsume them. So it takes away certain weaknesses and deepens your energy wells. Now, what that will actually do is strengthen you. So whenever you make each cut and you speak that whisper, Zazin Mirak, when you speak that, you're making an offering of yourself. When you carve open your hands, the hands have very peculiar, I would say, energy points in them. You're creating a mock chakral system. You're opening yourself up with that, with each whisper as well. And you notice how it states in the book you have to let go. This is because you're becoming void itself. See, we are like living ghosts. We are like energy beings here. And I know you've noticed the changes. That's why I was telling you to use your new abilities very discreetly. We had gone over the last time you projected here with me. We had gone over how to make your physical body go incorporeal. Quantum phasing through objects. This will actually aid in that because it's going to strengthen that psionic sorcery our kind are able to wield. So, and by that I mean, people who have delved into the Tower of the Void. And I sent you a list of all the hidden void entities as well. Each of those has a very specific purpose in helping you to complete every psionic aspect of yourself. But yeah, the blade doesn't need to be too ornate. I just use this one because of what it meant to me and the spiritual properties of shark teeth. It has the spiritual property to vampirize, and when I aligned it with the oils prescribed, I actually put it to where it would drain out that weakness. And then you noticed it states you said where to lay my hands, especially on your altar. You can lay them wherever. Since you do have a black gate to the void like myself, I would recommend that. But when you offer that prayer and that whisper, when you clasp your hands together after the Twilight sacrifice, you can place them anywhere. Lately, since I did this recently to eliminate another weakness, I do this, I think I've been doing this lately every, I would say, year. I wouldn't do this too often because of how draining it is. But lately I have been opening the Violet Gateway on my throne. When you speak that chant, that's going to open the violet void is a specific region in the astral, in the deep, that affects what even monks would refer to as the rainbow body. Because you notice how when you see me in my astral form, you will see that crown many different colors. It's because this is the place I go to the most for realignment, meditation, and adjusting myself. But yeah, there's not too much in it. But I would say the hardest thing about the Twilight sacrifice is getting the right mindset to let go. Remember, you have to drop self and become. There's a lot you're gonna want to hold on to. This is similar to how monks master the siddhis and are able to dematerialize. You have to let go of everything. And I think that was one of the hardest parts before I had actually mastered that ritual. So I am 28 now. I have been performing this ritual for years, and I would say it was only about at age 21 did I actually understand what it meant to completely let go and detach. This is why, I will spend, years away from or a year or so away from YouTube or Facebook. But it is to let go. You can get this similar sensation of, leaving social media as well as disconnecting yourself from the mundane, the outside world. But start practicing that. Start visualizing yourself with nothing. Then you will learn and understand what it's like to become void. As for, you got the Nexus I sent. See, I always charge mine on my altar after use, as well as on top of the EAGM Grand Grimoire. So, primarily because of what it's connected to. But definitely use the methods I've shown you. And don't fear the pain. I think when you fully let go, it won't hurt so much. But don't get anything that's like sharp as hell, that's completely serrated, or that's like sharp enough to fucking cut through a paper and shit like that. You don't want to have to, the palm has very sensitive nerve endings in it. It'll heal, but don't cut too deeply. You're trying to be extreme or some shit like that. You just need a little bit from each palm for that mock chakra point. You're creating that there to allow your energy to pour through when you speak those chants. It's similar to how I told you years ago this was around, I think I was like 16 when this happened, but I told you about how I had to create a mock chakra system for my organ because, with sickle cell anemia, most people, well, many, if they're well enough, don't get to keep their fucking spleens because of what it tries to filter out. But each organ is connected to a very unique chakra system. So what I actually did was, I was able to acquire a medically preserved spleen, a very powerful point, and I actually dried them out in specific herbs. From there, I put all kinds of void runes. I've showed you the language of the void already, that I myself was able to interpret and, fully uncover. That was actually what I used to create that. mock chakra point to deepen my energy wells. But yeah, I don't want this to go on too much longer. I wanted to answer your email. Let me know when you're ready to proceed to the next phase. Infernal blessings, brother, and much love and respect.